Hey everybody, today we're going to be showing you how to wrestle. Some people call it wrestling, but not me. I tried out for the wrestling squad when I was in school, but I didn't make the team. I didn't make any teams. I would have loved to though. Wrestling seems so fun. I want to be big and strong and beefy. I want to be a beefy boy. Sometimes I think about what my life might have been like had I made it onto the wrestling team in school. I don't think I would have gone on to become some sort of famous wrestling star or anything like that, but I do think things might have turned out a bit better than the life I've had so far. If I would have been good enough to be on the wrestling team, I would have made friends. I would have gotten strong. Maybe I would have even had a girlfriend. Sorry, sometimes I just like to daydream about these what-if scenarios. It's something to do to pass the time. It's something to keep me busy for a little while. I think about how things would have been. I make the cut and I join the wrestling team, and at first I'm not that great, but the coach sees some sort of potential in me and he trains me hard. He's tough, but he's fair. He teaches me techniques and strength training, but he also teaches me life skills beyond that. He teaches me what it's like to have a good father figure in my life. He teaches me about teamwork. He teaches me that I'm my own biggest limitation, and if I can push past my doubts, then I can accomplish much more than I ever thought possible. I grow to love my coach as if he were a member of my own family, and the other wrestlers on the team are just as special. We don't all get along all the time, but we've always got each other's backs. We support each other and we encourage each other. We want to see each other win and grow and get better as wrestlers and as people. We're like brothers who fight and yell at each other, but we're always loyal. These are relationships that will stick with me for the rest of my life. These are people who truly accept me and care about me, and I feel the same about them. Then there's my girlfriend. She's a sister of one of my teammates, and I meet her for the first time after a wrestling match. I had seen her earlier in the day before my match, and I immediately was struck by her beauty. She just looked so effortlessly comfortable as she sat in the bleachers watching the matches. She was beyond beautiful. She looked incredible, but there was something else. It was the way in which she carried herself, the way in which she smiled and cheered and laughed. You could see who she really was by the way she moved. This amplified her beauty tenfold in a way that I'd never seen before. After my match, I asked my teammate who she was. I had seen him speaking with her. He told me that she was his sister. He could tell right away that I was smitten, and he joked me about it and said that she was way out of my league. I told him that it seemed to me that she was out of just about anybody's league. He laughed and said that he would introduce us. I felt embarrassed and nervous, but I gathered my courage and went with him, and he introduced us and then made up some excuse and left us alone together. She was even sweeter and prettier than I had expected. The sound of her voice was light and sweet. She had a quick, cunning wit, and she spoke with a kind yet ironic smile on her lips. She was amazing, and I knew right away that I was in trouble. I knew that if I wasn't careful, I was going to fall in love. It wasn't long before we began seeing each other regularly. She was a year older than me, so we didn't see each other much at school, but I had somehow managed to ask her on a date, and she amazingly said yes. It was really great. We went to a fancy ice cream parlor and then walked around in a park for a couple of hours. She was so funny and thoughtful and smart. She was just really special, unlike anybody I'd ever met before. I kissed her on the cheek, and she looked at me with an all-encompassing warmth in her eyes and smiled and held my hand, and I struggled to hold back my tears of joy. I'll never forget that moment for as long as I live. It's these little shining spots in life that make everything worth it. So much of life is a struggle. So much of life is filled with pain and anguish and boredom and loneliness. But every so often you stumble upon these instances of true joy, and everything else just washes away, and it's just you and your joy, and it gives you a reason to keep trudging through the muck of life. Anyway, she graduated at the end of that school year and moved out of state to go to college. I won't go into all the details because it's a long, sad story. I wouldn't have changed anything though. If I could do it all over, I would, and I wouldn't change a thing. There's no way I could ever put into words what she means to me, even to this day. There's no way I could express the gratitude for everything she gave me, everything she taught me, everything she showed me. I really believe that she was the love of my life, even though we're no longer together. I feel thankful every day for having had the opportunity to share a little bit of my life with her. What a miracle she was. What incredible luck I had. Anyway, none of that happened because I didn't make the wrestling team, but it would have been nice if I had. It would have been really nice.